Although Mustafa Kemal said that a good teacher is like a candle. It consumes itself to light the way for others. But not all the wax is consumable along the way. As I stood in front of my classroom, I could not help but reflect on my own teacher, Mrs. Johnson, who had profoundly inspired me to pursue a career in education. She was a pillar of strength, wisdom, and compassion, and I inspired to embody her example. However, as I embarked on my teaching journey, I came to realize that there were certain things Mrs. Johnson kept to herself. And it was precisely this restraint that made her an exceptional teacher. One day, I inquired about her secret, and with a warm smile, she responded, "A teacher is like a river, which must keep its source and destination hidden, but its flow and impact visible." That piece of wisdom has stayed with me throughout my career, and I would now like to share with you 11 things that teachers should keep to themselves. Go nowhere. Listen to the end, because these principles are not only valuable for teachers, but also for anyone seeking to lead with grace, integrity, and purpose in their lives. Why not hit the like, share, and subscribe button for this channel to grow? First principle concerns age. It may seem harmless to reveal the number of years one has lived, yet in a classroom setting, age can become a distraction. When teachers disclose their precise age, it opens the door to comparisons. Young teachers may be seen as inexperienced, while old teachers may be perceived as out of touch, or out-fashioned. While experience and wisdom come with time, revealing one's exact age can invite unnecessary comparison, stereotypes, and assumptions about competence. The true strength of a teacher lies not in the number of years they have lived, but in their commitment to continuous learning and adapting to new circumstances. By prioritizing their own growth, teachers demonstrate that wisdom is not defined by age, but by a lifelong pursuit of knowledge. Regardless of whether one is in their 20s or approaching retirement, the emphasis should always be on the teacher's enthusiasm for learning and evolving. Students should witness their instructor's own journey of personal growth, showing that age does not matter when passion for learning is at the forefront. In everyday life, the same principle applies. There is no need to highlight one's age as a justification for why we can or cannot accomplish something. Excuse me. We can find greater purpose in ongoing growth, irrespective of where we stand in time. Embrace the understanding that your worth is not determined by the years you have lived, but by your capacity to embrace change and challenge yourself. Allow your actions and efforts to speak louder than the ticking of the clock. Second principle pertains to health status. health status is deeply personal, and while minor ailments can be mentioned casually, sharing details about chronic conditions or medical struggles can create undue concern among students. A teacher's role is not to burden their students with their own health struggles. They are there to inspire, guide, and provide stability. When teachers share too much about their health challenges, students may become distracted, feeling concern or pity for their instructor. A teacher's personal health issues should not take center stage. Instead, the teacher's resilience and perseverance should shine through. If teachers demonstrate that they can thrive despite adversity, students learn that strength is not merely a physical attribute, but a combination of mental fortitude and emotional resilience. This principle extends to our personal lives as well. We need not disclose every details of our health struggles or triumphs to others. Rather, we can model strength and resilience through our actions. By doing so, we demonstrate that true strength arises from how we respond to challenges, not from avoiding them or seeking sympathy. Every person encounters health difficulties at some point, but it is how we face them that defines us. The third principle involves personal wealth. Personal wealth, whether abundance or lack thereof, is another topic best left unspoken in the classroom. Discussing financial struggles can create discomfort, while boasting about financial success can isolate students or set unrealistic expectations. While some students may see it as boasting, others may think of how best to take the advantage of exploitation. Instead, teachers should model financial responsibility through their actions, demonstrating the value of hard work, discipline, and ethical decision making. A true measure of wealth lies not in material possessions, but in the richness of one's character and the impact one has on others. Teachers should focus on imparting lessons about responsibility, hard work, and perseverance rather than discussing their own financial circumstances. Similarly, in life, we should avoid comparing our wealth to that of others. Instead of defining ourselves by our bank balances, we should concentrate on enriching our minds, our hearts, and our communities. Ask yourself, what truly constitutes wealth? Is it the amount of money one possesses, or is it the good one can do with it? Wealth is not solely about material possessions. It is about the contributions we make and the values we live by. The fourth principle concerns family crises. Family difficulties are a reality for many people, and while it is natural to confide in trusted friends or family members, the classroom is not the appropriate venue for such personal disclosures. Teachers are there to provide guidance and stability, not to open the door to their own personal disputes. When a teacher shares too much about family conflicts or children's success or brothers and sisters' failures, it can distract classroom dynamic, make students uncomfortable, or divert their focus from learning. Rather than focusing on personal family issues, teachers can model healthy conflict resolution by teaching students how to resolve their own interpersonal challenges. Whether through literature, historical events, or discussions about empathy and problem solving, teachers have the opportunity to empower students with the tools they need to navigate their own relationship with wisdom and integrity. The same principle holds true in our personal lives. While it is important to have support system in place, we must also remember that our personal challenges need not to be shared with the world. It need not to be shared with the world. We can choose to handle family crises privately, demonstrating to others that we are capable of managing difficult situations with grace and resilience. This does not imply that we should suppress our emotions, but rather that we can address our challenges in a dignified and composed manner. The fifth principle relates to personal weaknesses. Recognizing one's weaknesses is a sign of strength, but sharing them indiscriminately with students can erode authority and respect. Teachers should refrain from publicly dwelling on their weaknesses in front of students. While vulnerability can be a powerful tool for connection, there is a fine line between sharing struggles and undermining authority. Instead of saying, I am terrible at technology, a teacher might say, I always learn new ways to integrate technology into my lessons. This reframing encourages students to adapt a growth mindset, understanding that everyone has areas to improve and that persistence is key. In life, this principle also holds significant value. Instead of focusing on our weaknesses, we should highlight our commitment to self-improvement. Instead of saying, I am not skilled in mathematics, we can reframe the statement, I am working on improving my mathematical skills. The way we talk about our weaknesses shapes how we perceive ourselves and how others perceive us. Weakness is not a permanent state. It is an opportunity for growth. It is merely an opportunity for growth. Let us show the world that we always evolve, always striving, and always learn. I repeat, let us show the world that we are always evolving, always striving, and always learning. The sixth principle concerns past mistakes. Every person has made mistakes, and while learning from them is important, teachers should avoid oversharing details about their past errors. A teacher's role is to provide guidance, inspire, and lead by example, not to revisit their past indiscretions. Revealing too much about past failures, particularly those of a deeply personal or controversial nature, can divert attention away from the lessons at hand and may undermine the teacher's authority. Instead, teachers should focus on historical figures, literary characters, or general life lessons that illustrate the importance of resilience, perseverance, and wisdom gained from mistakes. By using other examples, teachers can convey to students that failure is not the end, but rather an integral part of the journey to success. In the same vein, we must learn to move past our own mistakes. We can use our past to inform our future, but we must not allow it to define us. Mistakes do not need to be shared with the world. They need to be learned from, reflected upon, and used to build a stronger, more resilient version of ourselves. When we cease dwelling on our past errors, we liberate ourselves to move forward with confidence and clarity. The seventh principle, one that sets the tone for entire teaching profession, revolves around the idea of maintaining privacy in personal relationships. Whether romantic or social, personal relationships have no place in classroom discussions. Students look up to their teachers as role models. They trust their educators to be impartial, composed, and focused on their academic and personal development. When teachers blur the lines between their personal lives and their professional roles, it can create distractions, misunderstandings, or even discomfort. Sharing the details of personal relationships, especially those that may not align with the values being taught in the classroom, can inadvertently shift the focus away from the purpose of education, fostering growth, knowledge, and respect. Rather than discussing personal relationships, teachers should model healthy relationship dynamics through their interactions with colleagues, students, and even parents. Teachers have the opportunity to demonstrate the importance of healthy communication, empathy, and integrity. Through these examples, they impart lessons that go beyond textbooks, lessons that students can apply to their own relationships, both personal and professional. It is through modeling positive behavior that teachers create an environment where respect and understanding flourish. This principle holds true for each of us in our daily lives as well. We should be mindful of the boundaries between our personal lives and the roles we play in our families, communities, workplaces, and society. Relationships are vital, but it is crucial to maintain discretion, ensuring that our personal lives do not overshadow our professional obligations or create discomfort for others. This approach fosters a sense of trust, clarity, and stability in all relationships. The eighth guiding principle concerns the deeply personal nature of a teacher's spiritual journey. While values and ethics derived from one's faith undoubtedly inform their teaching, overt discussion of religious experiences should be approached with caution. Teachers must respect the diverse spiritual belief of their students and foster an inclusive environment where all students feel welcomed regardless of their faith background. The classroom should be a space where all students can explore their own beliefs, ideas, and values without fear of judgment or exclusion. At the same time, teachers can share wisdom drawn from spiritual texts in a way that is universally applicable. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7 offers a powerful lesson that resonates across cultures and faiths. Wisdom is the principal theme. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. This wisdom encourages students to seek wisdom beyond the confines of the classroom, fostering a lifelong pursuit of learning and moral clarity. Teachers can help students recognize the importance of wisdom, both intellectual and moral, as they navigate their academic and personal journeys. In our personal lives, this principle encourages us to embrace our spiritual paths with humility and sensitivity, avoiding the imposition of our beliefs on others. Instead, we can share the timeless truths from our spiritual experiences in ways that inspire others to seek their own growth. It is through this approach that we create spaces for unity and mutual respect, where diverse perspectives are valued and celebrated. The ninth principle concerns the importance of confidentiality. Teachers must hold the secrets of their colleagues and students in the highest regard. Trust is the foundation of any professional relationship, and breaching that trust can have lasting, damaging consequences. Students should feel safe confiding in their teachers without fear that their personal struggles or concerns will be shared with others. Similarly, colleagues should be able to rely on a teacher's discretion when it comes to confidential matters. By consistently demonstrating integrity in handling confidential information, teachers model ethical behavior for their students. The lesson here is clear. Trust is a precious commodity, and once it is broken, it can be difficult, if not impossible, to rebuild. By showing respect for the confidentiality of others, teachers instill the importance of discretion, honesty, and ethical responsibility, values that will serve students well throughout their lives. The same principle applies in our everyday lives, whether in our families, workplaces, or communities. Confidentiality and trust form the bedrock of all meaningful relationships. We must safeguard the confidence placed in us by others, ensuring that we always act with integrity and respect for those who trust us with their personal information. The 10th principle relates to sharing of deep personal fears and acts of extraordinary kindness. Vulnerability can be a powerful tool for connection, but it must be shared selectively. Teachers, like all other leaders, must strike a balance between being authentic and maintaining their ability to lead with authority and composure. While it is essential for teachers to acknowledge and empathize with their students' struggle, disclosing too much of their own personal fears can diminish their ability to guide and inspire. Instead of focusing on their own uncertainties, teachers can guide students in confronting their own fears through structured discussion, literature, or philosophy. More so, while kindness should always be encouraged, it is best demonstrated through consistent actions rather than grandiose gestures. Small daily acts of kindness, whether offering a word of encouragement, providing extra support, or showing genuine concern, often have a more lasting impact than any dramatic show of generosity. It is through these everyday actions that teachers can teach students the value of empathy, patience, and compassion. This principle also applies to our personal lives. Vulnerability is a powerful tool for connection, but it must be shared wisely. Acts of kindness are most meaningful when they are genuine, consistent, and thoughtful. Rather than seeking praise or recognition, kindness should flow from a place of sincere care for others. The 11th principle entails future plan. While it is natural for teachers to have ambitions outside of the classroom, Sharing these plans too prematurely can create unnecessary uncertainty or distraction among students. Teachers should avoid saying things like, I plan to leave this job soon, as it can cause students to worry about the stability of their educational environment. Instead, a more constructive approach is to express a commitment to growth, such as saying, I am always looking for new ways to grow and take on new challenges. This approach allows teachers to model ambition, forward thinking, and self-improvement while maintaining stability and security in the classroom. In our personal lives, we must be mindful of how and when we share our future plans. Ambition and growth are important, but it is essential that we communicate them thoughtfully. Whether in our careers or personal lives, sharing future aspirations at the right time ensures that we do so in a way that respects others and creates clarity rather than confusion. Throughout each of these principles, there is a recurring theme: the importance of maintaining boundaries while still offering leadership and inspiration. Teachers must carefully consider the impact of what they share with their students and colleagues. We must recognize that most powerful lessons are not necessarily those that come from our own personal stories, but rather those that are demonstrated through our actions, character, and commitment to integrity. As a Stoic philosopher once said, he who is not a good servant will not be a good master. Epictetus. A true leader is not one who seeks attention or praise, but one who serves others with humility, wisdom, and compassion. By maintaining the appropriate boundaries and remaining focused on our purpose, we can inspire others, we can inspire our students to follow our examples. Now is the time to act. Evaluate the way you engage with students and ensure that your interaction upholds the highest standard of professionalism and integrity. Chinese proverb says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is now. Thus, I challenge you to embrace the principles outlined above, not only as a teacher, but as a person. Let your growth, resilience, and integrity be what others observe. Take charge of your personal journey. Keep your source and destination hidden, but allow your flow and impact to serve as a beacon of inspiration. The world requires more teachers and leaders who live by these principles, not for the recognition they receive, but for the positive change they inspire.